Okay, this is Dougal. He's a Clydesdale that come into us for training. His problem was spooking, bolting, and bucking the owner off. Again, he doesn't have the acceptance of push. We've done a little bit of liberty work with him, and now I'm going to show you how to try to get him softer in the pull. I talked earlier about horses having, they need to have communicative pressure that they understand with, that we teach with, and then a restraint pressure is one that we need to win with. So restraint pressure is what I need to stop this horse from running away, because if this horse wanted to take off right now, he could just take off and pull away from me. And that's what's happening when the owner's on his back, is he's finding a restraint pressure that she's putting on him, and he's bowling his way through it. So we got to teach him to overcome that. We got to use two separate pressures. One is a communicative pressure, and it's very light, and the other is a restraint pressure. And I'll just show you how to tell the difference. It's a really cool thing and easy test to find. So if I just make a flat hand right there and slowly push against this horse with steady pressure, he got away from it right there, but if I just keep that pressure steady and slowly build, you'll see where right there he started leaning into it. So he shouldn't move. Right there he's leaning into it. I got to wait till he quits moving his neck. So he's leaning into that pressure right now, and you'll see when I take the pressure away how he fell towards me. So if you just push on your horse right there very slow and steady, you'll see where that triggered response is, that he leans on me, and it's right there again. When I take that pressure away, he's leaning on me. So that is a restraint pressure. If I push on him right there he's leaning against me again. You'll see when he's real still with his head, see how he fell towards me? So again, that's where those taps come into play. So if I want this horse to move and stay light, I need to stay below that restraint pressure. So as I start pushing on him, here would be my prep. There's the energy building, and there's the tap. To get him, he got to go sideways, there, away from that pressure. So the command come in very slow like that, and he moved away from it because it was a command. If I just tried to push him, that turns into a restraint pressure, and he doesn't respect that restraint pressure at the send with movement. And we're gonna go into that lesson here in a little bit, but first, before you ever do that lesson, I want to do some communicative pressure and teach him to yield a little bit more. So I'm gonna work on head down. So I just put a little bit of energy there, release, a little bit of energy, totally release, and I'm gonna keep working on him putting his head all the way to the ground. And it's a good idea to count how many releases you have to get him all the way to the ground. Sometimes you'll have a spot that's about 2 feet from the ground or a foot from the ground. Sometimes it's that last 6 inches that you can't seem to get. And you got to stay at that there. Once he's down, I'll stand up. If he comes up, I restart. The angle is straight down, the pressure slowly builds. And he's soft enough that I don't have to tap him. But if he got really hard and wouldn't move, just got real rocked hard on the pressure, we'll probably have a horse that'll do that before we're done. I would back him up to motivate him. And that way I can tap him and cause movement in his feet. Now he needs to stay down. So I'm going to continue this maneuver until he stays down. When he accepts this maneuver, he'll leave his head down for 3 seconds after I stand up. When I stand up, he comes up, I put him down. I just keep having lots of releases. I stand up, he comes up, I put him down. I stand up, he comes up, I put him down. I just keep repeating that. And you'll see it'll get worse, and if it gets worse, I'll turn it into a backup. So the backup is going to be the motivation. The communication is the pressure and release and the restart. No, don't come up again. Stay down there. There. 1001, 1002, 1003. And you could see he started licking and chewing when he done that. And then I just touch him on the neck to let him know it's over. Rest that up over his back if I can reach him. Holy smokes. So here would be simulation of me being on him and riding him. So I'm going to give him a prep. The angle is to bring his nose around, just a little bit of pressure right there. I don't like how heavy he is right there. We're going to work on that once a continuation of this. So start again. So he's He's way too heavy right here, so we're going to lighten him up here in a little bit when we... There. There. Same thing, he's got to stay around for 3 seconds off the contact. 1001, no. If he's going to move his feet, I'll go with him. 1001. No, if he's going to move his feet, I'll go with him. There. There. No, there. 1001, 1002, 1003. And then I'll just let him have it all. And they'll usually lick and chew, which he did right there in a case like that. And I like to switch sides after each maneuver like that when I get acceptance. And to me, acceptance in them two maneuvers is when he leaves his head down or leaves it around off the contact. If it requires movement, I cluck or tap. So the additional tap pressure or cluck pressure causes movement, not the pull of the rein. That way I can ride him. I can ride him in a halter, I can ride him in a snaffle bit, I can ride him with no bridle. If that command itself needs to be really, really light. 1001, 1002, 1003. Let him go, see if he chews that over. So, you know, having him yield to communicative pressure it's easy to do when you're on his back, because if he takes off and goes faster, I just hold the pressure and go with him. But when I'm on the ground and he takes off, I can't do that because I can't run as fast as he can. So eventually there's going to be some restraint pressure. And that's his problem. Anytime a horse takes off and bucks and bolts, it's because he doesn't yield to restraint pressure. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to tie him up, and then the lesson's called send while tied. And this lesson, you got to have a very safe place to do it in. This round pin, you can't do it on a round pin. This round pin is custom made. So I'm able to do that with this pin, but there's not another round pin that I've seen like this. So it's pretty safe to say that you will not be able to do it from your round pin. I will start it right here. So you want to do it in a safe place like a wall on an indoor arena, or a safe plank pole fence that don't have a lot of areas for him to get caught in, or that it's a secure thing to tie him to. You want to make sure that you have a proper fitting rope halter. Mine is the only one I can really guarantee is going to be a proper fitting rope halter, that if I pull down on this halter, this strand right here grabs him behind the jaw, and this strand is away from these nerves that set right behind his ears. Most rope halters in the industry, they purposely make this strand down here so that this strand sets on the ears, so that we work on them nerves so they're more sensitive to lead forward. Where I don't use a hard pull forward, I use my taps to get my horse to come forward. So sometimes your halter will slip up in there, but when you're going to tie him up and send him back and forth to yield to that restraint pull, it's very important to put that back and just do a check. When I pull down, if this grabs him back here, he feels like he's not getting away from it, because a lot of the rope halters in the industry promote horses to pull back when they're tied up. And I see it more and more nowadays, where horses are, they got nerve damage from that. So again, you can't stress that enough. You got a safe halter. Then when I tie him, the length has to be that I bring him up here, so he's close to the ring or the post I'm going to tie him, about this height. And I want to make sure that he can't get a foot in there. So when his head's down, I'm going to leave him about that much slack. I'm going to do a half hitch around, so my bottom rope goes under, and then it comes around. The camera can see this, and then I go over and through this loop here. I just create a loop and go through, so I got a bit of a half hitch there. And then I back it up with just another, go under the loop again, just so I can get it untied easy, and it's not going to come loose. And again, I'd never leave him tied that long, because he'll get a foot over it. I just need to be able to send him and give him enough rope that I can send him this way and he hits the end of the line, send him that way and he hits the end of the line. I'm going to start real slow and just build it up, and you'll see how he will hit the end of that line and then turn and go the other way. And that's, the harder a horse hits it, the the more he needed it. So I'm going to push him that way till he finds the end of it. So what happens is you can tie a horse up all day long. A lot of people say, well, my horse doesn't pull back when he's tied up, so he don't need this exercise. But as soon as you send him, it's a different story, because as long as he's tied, he yields to restraint pressure when he's tied up. It's when you send him that he don't yield to restraint pressure. See, he run into it right there. So I got to push him till his back end comes around. Then I got to turn my beam and start way over here. It's that same send that we've been doing all day in the round pen. Come around with my beam and my hand and my taps and send him that way. You've seen him run into it. And I need to keep tapping him till he moves his hind end around that way. Find the way. There you go. So you want to do it slow. I don't want to just drive him up into it right away. Sometimes the real bad ones, when they find that restraint, when you're sending them, they blow up and hit it. Most of the time it's because you put them on there too early. You don't want to do all the lessons that we've done. So this will be the last lesson that we do in the course. So if you still have trouble with your horse after all the Liberty lessons, this is going to be the thing that's going to help you get through your final troubled area. And that's him not yielding to the restraint pull. Just so you can, we want to end this course with you being able to go catch your horse nicely, lead him to the round pen with some respect, put some Liberty control on him, get some Liberty lessons on him, and then go about your day and have some nice stuff. You can see he's hit that enough times, he's still not yielding to it. There we go. There we go. So one side's worse. We knew that from the right side, from my bending exercise. I knew his right side was stronger and a little bit more resistant than his left side. Come on. Good. And the better send you get, come on, the better send you get, the better this works. There we go. And back the other way. Good. So you can see he kind of give it up right there. And I keep pushing him until he don't hit the end of that line anymore. When I push him around there, he shouldn't take the slack out of that line. See right there he did. So I'm going to tap on him a little bit and hurry him up. This side he don't hit the end of the line. If he does, hurry him up again. There we go. There he goes again. Good. Good.